Hey everyone, it's Johnny, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back. I had a few of you interested in knowing my thoughts about the upcoming Scentsy Club changes. I have the PDF on what's changing in front of me. And I don't want to make this a long, drawn-out video. There are a couple other consultants who have put out some really great content regarding the changes. Lisa Roberry, for example, has a fantastic video. It's quite long, and it goes very in-depth into what the different changes are. So I'm not going to sit here and go through every single change and prattle on about it. I want to just kind of get into the meats on my thoughts and feedback on what has happened. But I will link that below as well, along with my website if you want to purchase from me and support me. Yay! It'd be awesome, but you don't have to. Anyways, so let's talk about some of the big changes and how I feel about them overall. So before we get into the changes, here's my personal overarching opinion on it. Change happens, whether we like it or not at times. Sometimes it's for the best, but we don't see that in the current time. Sometimes it's not so much for the best, and we need to go back and fix what we kind of did wrong. I don't know, and I can't say, I'm not going to sit here and defend Scentsy tooth and nail, and I'm also not going to sit here and bash them to bits over this. The one big thing I think that bothers me more than any of the changes is the fact of the timing of the changes. As most of us know, we're in a very strange year where a lot of strange things have been happening since the beginning of this year, and it has just kind of become a rather unpredictable, volatile, global disaster zone, if you will. It's like, what's happening on this month's episode of 2020 the movie, right? It's just crazy stuff, right? You know, a lot of people are struggling for various reasons, financially, emotionally, physically, you know, and I feel that any company that is trying to get through this will inevitably have to make some changes. However, I will say Scentsy has been doing particularly well during this time. Perhaps more so than it ever has in all of its history. And again, don't quote me on that, but from what I understand, it's just been breaking records left and right. So for me, I feel like a lot of these changes really could have been postponed at the very least until later in the year when things maybe hopefully possibly settle down, or maybe next year. I think for me, nitpicking aside, the timing for me was what was just like, really? Why did you pick this time? I feel like that was a little bit insensitive and not really mindful of what's going on in the world. All right, so that, I think, beyond any of the little frustrations in here, that is my biggest gripe with it. I just feel like it wasn't the right time for this to be launched. And I get it, it's coming right before their catalog transition, but again, I don't feel like 2020 was the year to be doing this. All right, so that said, let's dive into this. So things are happening. Bundle and saves are being removed from the Scentsy Club. And they're changing it and adding something else. They're no longer offering free reduced shipping. Okay, so those are like the two main things that everyone's griping and up in arms about, one way or the other. And then, but one of the things that they don't mention is that the system is being overhauled a bit to make it a little bit easier to track your orders, and more importantly, be able to change the frequency on bars. For those of you who've been around, one of the things I do love that's coming up is that I will be able to hopefully see all my bars organized a little bit more, you know, maybe alphabetized or something. It's not like I couldn't handle it before, but it would be a lot nicer to just have all the bars listed by their names, as opposed to, you know, what's in this bundle? Let me click into all my bundles and find out. That's just like a convenience feature though. The bigger thing that I love is that you'll be able to change the frequency to quicker or longer. So before you could only extend the duration between shipments. So like if it was monthly, you could ship it just twice a month. I'm sorry, every other month or up to every 3 months. But you couldn't go backwards. So especially if it was a discontinued bar. So with this change, from what I understand, you'll be able to do that. And for me, that is an awesome thing because there are some fragrances that I wish I could get every month because even if I can't up the quantity of them, if I get them every month, then I'll have more of them. So for me, that is a huge positive change. Does it alone outweigh some of the not so great changes? I don't know yet. Okay, I don't think any of us are honestly going to know until the system's implemented and we're actually like working with it. And hopefully Scentsy will tweak it as we go and fix some of the things that end up becoming not so great. All right. So what they're doing with the shipping is they're basically kind of structuring it like a party order. So if it's less than $80, you'll get it's an $8 shipping fee. If it's more than $80, it's 10% of your order. For those of us like myself who generally have larger orders, that is an area of concern because the higher your order gets, the bigger your shipping bill gets. Now, are there shipping costs anywhere near the cost if you were to go mail a package from UPS to your friend? No. I mean, I remember shipping like a box like this big, and just because it was a little bit heavier, UPS wanted like $50 for it. And I was like, nope, and went to the post office and did like flat rate several boxes, and it ended up still being cheaper than UPS. So I get it. Shipping, it costs money. And if you want to look at it from the perspective of how the discount is happening, because they're going to be offering a 10% discount above $30 orders. Any order over 80 technically with this 10% discount means that the 10% discount is covering your shipping cost. Okay, so for me, that's a wash. It doesn't really bother me so much because it's like, okay, well, you're not offering free shipping, but you're giving a flat 10% discount on everything, which you normally wouldn't do. Therefore, it evens out. I'm not really mad about that. It's fine. Some people are like way up in arms about it. I will say that we like the idea of if I'm a loyal customer and I spend a certain larger amount of money, it is nice to be able to unlock free shipping. And a lot of companies do that for their one-off individual orders. But remember, this is for the subscription club order. And I will say that most subscription services that I've used for like food or wine or body care or whatever else, they all have a shipping cost. It doesn't matter what the order is, it has a shipping cost. So that doesn't really bother me. It's would have been nice if they'd kept the free shipping over a certain threshold, but it's not the worst change in the world. Okay, now here's though where I have mixed feelings. So at the $60 range, they're supposedly giving you an unlocked half price item. But here's the thing. It's not for hard products. Like it's not, at least at this point, it's not for warmers or diffusers or plugins or things like that. It's all in the consumables. So really, the only things that are of notoriety in the half price era would be like the $30 tub of washer whiffs, the big one, which would now be $15, or something like the whiff box, which again would normally be $30, it would be $15. Maybe even the bricks. So, you know, the brick, which is essentially like almost 6 bars of wax, would be $12 instead of $25. So in that sense, those are great perks, but if you don't always want a brick or washer whiff tub or whiff box, a lot of the other products at half price are only a few dollars cheaper. You know, like a $6 wax bar for half price is $3. So, ooh, I got a half price wax bar. It doesn't really entice anyone. Okay. And because there's no bundle and save, if you have a bundle, you're going to be paying a few dollars more. Now, if your bundles are like dryer discs or dish soap or room sprays, you're only already originally saving like $1 or $2 from like just buying them individually. So that doesn't really bother me either way. But if you're just mainly using the bundles for waxes, 6 bars of wax individually, $36. $6 times 6. 6 bars of wax in a bundle, $30. So you're saving, it's essentially like getting 1 free bar. This is really where the bundle and save being discontinued really starts hurting. Because a lot of us, myself included, mainly use Scentsy Club for wax, like discontinued waxes we can't live without, whatever. Not, I don't think I've ever really, except for this one last order, have ever gotten like car bars or other things or fragrance flowers, or like I just don't do that in my club. It's just wax. So to discontinue all the bundle and save options, it didn't bother me except for the wax, to be very fair. And what I would hope they would consider doing in the future is with their new system, instead of offering all the bundle and saves, maybe for the wax bars, for every 5 bar or 6 bars in your club, one of those is discounted to 0 or something. So it's essentially, you could program the system for every 6 bars you add into a subscription, one of those 6 gets priced at $0. Like that's something that could technologically be done, and then you wouldn't have to necessarily put all the bundles back into the system, but then you'd still give customers the discount on at least the wax bars, which is one of Scentsy's main staples. So I don't know, maybe I'll suggest that. I think we have an idea portal or something. But again, I don't really know how it's going to pan out because I haven't seen the new system. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm sure that I'll have to edit my club to some extent, which has been long overdue anyways. But this is kind of like a little bit of, at first glance, a kind of slap in the face from Scentsy. So, yeah, not so, I guess, let's just summarize. We can sit here and I'll prattle on and it'll get boring. So basically, the shipping thing doesn't really irk me. It gets canceled out by the 10% flat discount. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. If you want to have it canceled out properly, have an order of at least $80. The half price item to me is kind of a meh thing, unless they eventually transition that so your half price item can be a hard product, like a warmer or a Scentsy Go or something. Because at the current state, with it only being consumables, I feel like that's kind of a sort of trade-off. The bundle and save thing, most of the bundles and save, aside from the wax bar bundles and the Laundry Love bundle, you don't really save that much money. If we're being real scientific, I'm just laid out for you as a consultant. Like 3 room sprays bought separately, $8 each, $24 total. 3 room sprays bought together, $23. You save a whopping $1. Okay, that's not much in the grand scheme of things. Unless you're buying hundreds of room sprays at once, you're not going to see the savings. However, with the Laundry Love, you do save about $10 as a bundled kit. With the wax bars, you save $6 for every 6 bars that you bundle, right? So that is a huge difference. That's where I don't agree with what they did with there. So take out all the other bundles, but maybe keep the bar system in there. And like, as I said earlier in the video, maybe it could just be incorporated automatically in the system. So you don't have to think about it. There's no bundling involved. And you can still enjoy that perk. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all that I can talk about. I guess at the end of the day, it's going to happen. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. They may change it again down the road. It's, from what I understand, Scentsy is very good at trying to listen to feedback and walk back changes if some of them are not ideal. I don't know. I think my biggest thing, like I said at the very, very beginning of this video, is that I think the timing for everything is what is really driving this up people's skin, or into people's, under people's skin. There you go. Whatever the analogy is. You know, like if we were all hunky-dory and 2020 was just another year, right? But we're in a very strange global situation. There's a pandemic. There's all sorts of crazy things that are happening all over the place. This was not the time to make sweeping changes, in my opinion. So that's really where my bone to pick with Scentsy would be. It's just, who is in charge of your rolling out your operational changes? Like that could have waited. Anyways, I'm gonna let you go because this video is probably super long and I don't know. Hope you enjoy it. Please stay tuned for more lighthearted videos and things on like wax and first sniffs and my bamboo. But in the meantime, have a great day. Don't dwell too much about this. Be safe this weekend for the 4th of July holiday. And I will see you and talk to you soon, hopefully. Bye.